survivors. Mrs Akeredolu's survival story now spans 2 decades of breast cancer activism. Her story is a huge source of hope and inspiration to other women who have come in contact with her through the activities of her non-profit organization, Brecan.
I got to know about Brecon from my doctor in Dubai, Dr. Huria Kazim. And she told me about Brecon, that Brecon seems to be the only support group that she knows that is solid in Nigeria. Then on my own, I Googled and found out Brecon was in Ibadan. And I live in Abuja. The proximity will make it impossible. So what I began to do was to begin to read about Arabiri, Akeredolu on the internet, her survivorship and everything. And everything about her inspired me, at least. It made me know that if she could survive, I can also survive.
When my mom heard about a mastectomy surgery, when the doctor tried to explain to her that it's a removal of the breast, she just broke down. She broke down completely, like it has never happened in her family, that she has never heard about it. So she actually told the doctor that, "Doctor, can you take out one of my breasts and add joint to the one you're removing?" I just started crying. The doctor just shed a tear like motherhood. The doctor actually said, "No, ma, we can't do it." Coming to Brecon is a great pleasure. It's an honor to be part of Brecon. Cancer, it's a challenge that you have more to life. You have more to live. Cancer doesn't define me, and there's no pain in my scar. There's no shame in my scar. It is just a starting point.
Indeed, there is no pain in a scar, only a story of courage, a strong desire for life, and a refusal to be defined by the negative experience.
When I was diagnosed, oh my word, am I going to die? Actually, I wouldn't have known that I had cancer. Yes, the lump wasn't in the breast. It wasn't in the breast. That was just a kind of, I can say like a growth on top of my right breast towards the armpit. And I didn't take cognizance of it because it was not paining me. It was painless. I first came in contact with Brecan 2014. I wrote to mommy about my treatment, telling her what happened, the diagnosis, the everything and everything. And they came to my aid. Even when I was in the hospital, Brecanites came to encourage me, you know, to greet me, brought fruit for me, brought money and everything. And mommy also supported me through Brecan for the treatment. So I felt needed. I shouldn't die. I'm loved. I shouldn't die.
2014, I was diagnosed of breast cancer. And I had a mastectomy. After the surgery, I was going through treatment when my husband was just going all around the place trying to see solutions, get help, because the expenses for the treatment was so high. And somehow he got in touch with Mrs Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu. It's awesome to hear that one could go through such an experience and for 20 years or more still stands out there to say, "I'm a survivor." For the past 20 years, all the works she has been doing, all the awareness she has been creating to make sure that people know about breast cancer and how to stay away from it and how to tackle it and how to fight it. And I tell you, we are learning from it. We are learning a lot from it. I'll tell you, I'm stronger now. I can say a lot to people who need encouragement because I'm in Brecan.
After mastectomy, in fact, before removing a woman's breast, this is where organizations like Brecan has been very, very useful for us. I remember 10 years ago, if I were to do a mastectomy on a woman, I would introduce her to Mrs Akeredolu, and she would call the patient, she would advise them, she would tell them, I went through this is how I survived it. So gradually we also built up some survival groups around us here, who many of them are working with Brecan today, and many women that are about to undergo mastectomy speak to these women, and they are encouraged seeing those who have gone through this. There are some women talk. There are things women say to themselves that a male doctor may not even be able to. How did your husband react? How did you cope with it? So there are survival groups like Brecan that have helped women over the years to be able to go through this.
There must be few Nigerians sitting down and saying, this thing is happening, is unacceptable. What are we going to do? We cannot afford to continue losing our women because of a disease that is treatable and even curable. So we should be able to educate our women. And Brecan members, they've undertaken that task without anybody asking them. Our own benefit is that fulfillment that because of our activities, because of our action, lives are saved. Period.
The journey of the last 20 years has not been without challenges. However, Mrs Akeredolu has demonstrated extraordinary courage in leading Brecan, never wavering in her commitment to end breast cancer. With activities like the World Cancer Day, breast health awareness outreach, and the innovative Jog for Life, Brecan is succeeding in breaking down the walls of secrecy and stigmatization.
We organize Jog for Life just to make sure that our presence is felt. So we're just doing it within ourselves. Until ShopRite came along. ShopRite. What could you have done without ShopRite? We were organizing Jog for Life October in Ibadan. Just in Ibadan. Where we started with less than maybe 50 people. Because we used a woman, a notable woman, a woman that could draw attention seeing her jogging on the street. So we started with the wife of the governor of Oyo State, Lam Adeshina, Mrs. Lam Adeshina. And we have continued in that state.
Jog for Life, or even more, Race for Life. Speak out and be heard, because there's nothing more powerful than our collective voices to defeat the scourge of cancer.
People should learn to speak out. People should learn, because it's in speaking sometimes that you get the solutions. You know, you hide it, it keeps you there. Even when there's a solution, you wouldn't know. I'm celebrating my survivorship. I'm celebrating the fact that every day for me is celebration.
I'm a survivor today because mine was detected early and cancer is not a death sentence.
NGOs like this, they reach the grassroots faster than government. The bureaucratic pathway of government is not there in NGOs. Government must recognize the importance of NGOs and give them the enabling environment to support them, because they are actually doing government's job for them. And on the long run, is the nation collectively that benefits from it. Because if the burden of cancer is so much reduced, then government can concentrate on other things.
The scientific world we live in today is based on evidence. Research is so important. We have observed that many of our women are presenting at very young ages. The way forward is for us to be able to conduct our research locally and disseminate our own, say our own story, have our own evidence, be able to formulate our own policies.
We need to do a lot of education. We need to do a lot of awareness, and in languages that they understand. Apart from that, apart from, raising awareness all over the place, we also want to be instrumental to having a structured screening program, structured population screening program. And we can start at the state level. Then, of course, it's time to mobilize people into action, because we are going to lay emphasis on community engagement.
Brecon is expanding to the nooks and crannies of Nigeria. More chapters are being created to reach more women in Nigeria. The newly established Ondo State chapter will cater to the needs of women in Ondo State, where awareness is still low.
We are spreading. We now have 8 chapters right now, and we have 7 chapters that are really active.
70% of people that reside in Lagos don't really know what breast cancer is, or any cancer at all is. So there's a big need to create awareness, especially those people that live in the hinterlands in Lagos. These are the grassroots people. That is what Brecan stands for. We are here to spread the cancer message to everybody that has to hear about it.
We want new crop of Nigerian women that have this self-awareness about what is happening around them, not just only about how the society treats them, but also issues that affect them, like health. And again, for our women to also listen to that our mantra that you should check your breast every month. If you notice any unusual change, go to hospital. Because if you do so, you're familiar with the look and feel of your breast. And it enables you to detect any change. And there's also that likelihood that at that point in time is the early stage. Your chances to survive greatly enhanced. When people talk about breast cancer as a death sentence, I say no. Who are the people giving breast cancer that bad name? Breast cancer doesn't kill if you do the right thing at the right time.
Survivors. The survival of women is the survival of a race, and any threat to the survival of women is a threat to the human race. Everyone has a stake. Be breast aware, spread the message, join the fight, and save our women from dying at the peak of their productive years. You can be part of a 200 million naira crowdfunding to support women in Ondo State with breast cancer by making a donation to account number 0029754924 Unity Bank PLC Brecan Special Project. Thank you.